So welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much. If you are meeting for the first time, welcome, and stay tuned and make sure you watch until the end. So previously we have been posting videos on food, but we are going to deviate a bit because we are going to post video from now on from the project that we have been undertaking since May this year. So we are building our dream home, and we decided to document the whole process and share with you guys the bits and pieces that we've learned so far. So I know many of us, if not all, have had an ambition to own a home, or at one time or another, but usually the decision between owning a home and building the decision between buying a home and building one from scratch is one that we all struggle with, and depending on various circumstances, the decision is usually made differently. But there's a beauty with building your own home because you have the degree of freedom to tweak it to your taste and preferences. So we are going to take you through the journey, where we'll bring you all the, not all, but a couple of bits and pieces of the milestones we have achieved so far. So so we are going to organize this series in a number of episodes. So this first episode is basically about laying the foundation, because laying the foundation for a building is a critical step in the construction process, as it provides the necessary support and stability for the entire structure. So first of all, we did site preparation. And site preparation is the first step. Of this process, whereby the first step is to clear the construction site of any vegetation, of any debris or obstructions. So the area should be leveled and excavated to the required depth, and you have to take into consideration the soil conditions and the design of the building. The next thing that we did was excavation, and excavation involves digging a trench or a series of trenches around the perimeter of the building. And the depth and the width of the trenches depend on factors such as the building size, the soil conditions, and the local building codes, which we all adhered to. The third thing that we did was footings. And it's the footing. This is basically just laying in the foundations to stones. So once the trenches are excavated, footings are constructed, and these footings are concrete structures that distribute the weight of the building over a larger area, providing stability and preventing settling, or it prevents actually the building from caving in after some time. If we don't provide the required strength at the foundation, then basically the building will cave in. So the size and the design of the footings are determined by the structural engineers based on the building's load requirement and the soil conditions. And then the fourth thing that was done was reinforcement, and the reinforcement was done by steel, and is usually in the form of rebar or reinforcing bars, which are placed within the footings to strengthen the concrete and improve its load-bearing capacity. So the rebar is laid in a predetermined pattern and secured in places using wires. So after all that, what is done after we laid the foundation stones and did all the reinforcement required, we had to do backfilling in the area that was excavated, because we had to go quite a distance during the excavation and during the footing when we were excavating and digging the trenches, we had to go like very deep. So backfilling was done, so to bring the foundation to a level. And since we had dug it deep, we had to backfill it with maram, with around 25 loads of maram. Yeah, it was a very deep space, so we had to do backfilling. So after backfilling, like just the interior of the perimeter, the perimeter, then we did then formwork was done. So formwork is also known as molds or shuttering, which is installed to define the shape and dimension of the foundation. So it is typically made of wood, metal, or plastic. So for us, because wood is kind of cheaper, that is what we opted for at this level. Yeah, it's wood is what you use. So formwork prevents the concrete from spreading, and it helps create a very smooth finish. So after the formwork was done, and then the day that we were recording this video was when we were doing the concrete pouring. So once the formwork is in place, concrete is poured into the trenches and around the footings and on the entire floor. Okay, so the concrete is typically mixed off-site and transported to the construction site using concrete trucks, and then poured using pumps, buckets, and then leveled and compacted to ensure uniformity and to eliminate air pockets. But you see, when concrete is mixed off-site and transported, it's normally quite expensive. So what is normally done, especially in Kenya for small projects, the concrete mix is done on site. So when we were doing the concrete mix, I think we used 93 bags of cement for this work. We used 93 bags of cement, then half load of river sand, half load of rock sand, and 1.5 loads of ballast. So after that was done, so it took us around 8 hours for this process to be completed. And the artisans and the masons really they really did a good job. They really worked around the time, because this work is normally done in a day. And after 8 hours, this work was done. So after concrete is poured, the next thing is curing. So after the concrete is poured, it needs time to cure and gain strength. So curing involves keeping the concrete moist and at the proper temperature for an extended period of time, typically several days or weeks. So this allows the concrete to achieve its desired strength and durability. So after we poured the concrete slab, which was done on 21st May 2023, from 22nd, curing began, whereby we just pour water on the slab for it needs water for around 3 weeks. So there was someone who was doing that work on a daily basis, in the morning and in the afternoon, so that the slab could gain the strength that was required. So the next thing that we're supposed to do is to do backfilling. Backfilling the excavated, around the excavated trenches, around the foundations with soil or suitable material. And this is very important because it provides additional support to the foundation and protects it from external forces. But for now, we will not do the backfilling around the foundation, because we haven't dug the underground water tank and the sock pit hasn't been done yet. So that is work that will come in later. So the next thing that you're going to do after the concrete has cured and gained some strength, we will do the screeding and start the wall for the ground floor. Note that the specific process may vary depending on the building's design, the local building regulations, and other factors. So professional architects and structural engineers and contractors should be consulted to ensure that the foundation is constructed correctly and meets all the necessary requirements for the building. Because as for this project, of course, the architect and the structural engineer normally comes to the site to supervise and see whether the project that they had designed it's taking shape according to the way they want it to be. So thank you so much, and let's meet in our next video. Bye bye.